Ready?
Go live. Should be live. Yep.
This always confuses me when we do this.
Yeah,
right
I
here.
had to turn the volume off.
Yeah, just seeing where it's. Look, I'm watching us.
Sure.
My phone's not hooked up this time, so it's not the headphones.
Yeah,
That's
no.
good.
Why did I just share it on our page?
Did you?
I meant to share it on my actual Facebook profile. Share
Oh, I
it.
guess I should have done that too, huh?
Always forget to do it.
You.
Do two more things. Okay. Let's get it.
Good afternoon, everybody, on this great Friday. A little bit later today than we usually do it, but we're here. I really didn't want to miss a show, skip a show.
True that.
So I had some stuff to take care of this morning, but we are here, and we are ready to talk.
Sports.
Yeah, we didn't get to recap last weekend at all. Brett had to work, and I wasn't able to do one on Facebook. So I guess we'll recap as we look ahead.
Okay.
So, as everyone should know now, the championship series for baseball is starting this week. Everyone, like the last time we talked, it was Brewers versus Rockies, Dodgers, Braves, Yankees, Sox, Indians, Astros. It's now down to Dodgers and Brewers in Game 1 and Astros and the Red Sox for that Game 1. So there's 4 teams left. What are the... Oh, in case anyone cared, I don't know. Like, none of the series were close. The Dodgers
swept.
The Dodgers won 3-1, the Sox won 3-1, and Houston swept, and the Brewers swept.
Yes.
So there wasn't a close divisional round, or whatever you want to call it, at all. So I hope these championship series are better. They normally are.
Well, there's 7-game series now.
And yeah, it'll go
No
to
more
7.
5.
Yeah, so there's more of a chance. So I guess you can throw us the pitcher
So tonight,
lineup.
the Brewers and the Dodgers play. Dodgers are going to start Kershaw, and the Brewers are going to start Gio Gonzalez.
So we all know Kershaw's been dealing.
Kershaw dealt the game, that second game.
Yeah, I know they said something about his breaking ball this
His breaking
season
ball
is
nasty.
Yeah, he's been throwing it more often than I think he had before.
His
Or any
changeup's
other
nasty
pitcher.
too.
So I don't know who's going to win that. I haven't looked into either team a whole lot.
I believe they're playing in.
It should be in LA because I think
think
they're the higher
it's-
seed.
I think it is. No, it's in Milwaukee.
Oh yeah, because they ended up winning the Central, didn't they?
Yeah. So
Okay, so Milwaukee gets to be at home. Baseball, it doesn't matter a whole lot. Like, I think it does matter in all sports, but I think in baseball it matters the least because it's not like crowd noise is a big deal in baseball.
I mean, it could get pretty loud in a stadium.
Yeah, but I don't think it's not going to affect you hitting a ball or pitching a
I
ball.
don't know. That's. I mean, you
I mean, nerves are always going to be a thing. Even if you're playing at home in a big game, you're still going to feel. I honestly think in big games, some home teams, the nerves get to them because they're scared they're going to drop the ball. And
Agreed.
so,
Yeah,
I mean,
I can see that.
the nerves play a fact, but I don't think it matters where you are. That would just be the game and the hype in general.
True.
So, I don't know. I think I know I said, last week, a week before, I'm just riding with the Red Sox because that just feels like home when it comes to baseball, even though I'm not from Boston. I've had just a childhood tie to them just because I grew up with them being good. So whatever. I'm no fan. I'm no bandwagoner. I couldn't tell you 5 players on their team.
The Sox have an advantage too. I mean, if we still want to talk about home field,
Mm-hmm.
they play their first game at home. So I think in any kind of sport, in any playoff, the game 1 is the most crucial game to win.
Yeah, well, because just
Sets the motivation.
really, I think if it's going to affect baseball, it's kind of in the preparation part. Like you're in your own locker room, your own field. You go through your normal routine,
Yeah.
whatever music you listen to, what time you get your wrists and fingers taped, where you throw and warm up at, what do you drink, what do you eat before the game. If you're on the road, you're in a
Different environment.
You're in a different, a visitor locker room. You might not have. I mean, they're MLB players, so they're going to have all the accessories that they need. But there could just be some of those things that you don't get, when you're at your own stadium. So
True that.
every athlete who's ever played a game knows about this. You have a routine, and at home, when you go on the road, you might have a different routine.
Agreed.
That's how that goes. As far as the Brewers-Dodgers, Brewers are riding a wave.
They are.
They ended up winning
They're hot.
their division or whatever it was, and then they came through and just blew the doors off of the Rockies. I don't even know if any of those games were close. They won 6-0. They won 3. Oh, no, that wasn't them. They won 4-0, and they won 3-2. Game 1 was the closest game they had. So after game 1 of that series, it's been wide open for them. Why don't you go ahead, and what is going to be the pitching matchup in game 1 of the Red Sox game?
The probable starters, they're going to start Verlander for Houston, and they're going to possibly start Sale for the Red Sox.
Okay. And Sale's been throwing very well.
Yeah. Yeah, he did deal good when we talked about him having to get his fastball.
Yeah,
up
they're
at
worried
90s.
about his speed and his power. If you're wondering, game 1 of the Dodgers Brewers is tonight at 8:09, technically first pitch, and then they play game 2 again tomorrow at 4.
Yeah, they play. It's like back to back.
They play 1-2, and then Astros and Sox play tomorrow at 8. Then Sunday at 7, and then it's again Brewers and Dodgers after that, and it'll be a long series. Hopefully, I hope they both go 7. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, and then hopefully maybe the World Series.
And then the World Series is supposed to start October 23rd if it goes on to schedule, which it should. Unless now, if both of those rounds sweep, do you think they're going to move up the world? No, they probably can't move it up. They probably just get them because this right here, like if the Red Sox and Astros go to 7, they're going to play on the 21st, and they're going to get 2 days of rest and turn around and play again.
That's a quick turnaround. No, I don't think they move the lineup like that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they'd push it up because they don't do that for anything else. But that's just play 7-game series and got to turn around and play 2 days later.
Yeah, and play probably a whole nother 7-game series depending on who plays.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, baseball dwindling down. Only about 2 more weeks left, and we will have us a world champion. Can you look up? Have all these teams won a championship before?
Brewers.
I mean, obviously the Sox have, and the Dodgers have. I would assume, but I don't know about the Brewers.
Astros won.
I know the Astros have won, so it might just be the Brewers I have a question about.
Hold on.
Which they've been around, so I'm not 100% sure on that. Yeah, like I said, I hope they're just really good series. I hope it's not blowouts like we've seen. It's like that Boston and Yankees series. Boston won game 2 like 16-1. Like they were joking.
Yeah.
They were joking on the radio. Like if that was 15 years ago, like the pitchers would have probably just started beaning each other or beating the other players just because they were so far out of it. Like I don't know. I guess maybe that rivalry's calmed down a little bit, but
I don't know.
Can't find anything. I don't know.
I think how long. Because the Brewers. There was the one time they played the Diamondbacks. They lost 3-2, and they lost in the world. They were in the World Series, but they lost to the Cardinals. So I don't think they won.
Okay, so the Brewers have not won a title at all then. So Seattle hasn't won. The Nationals haven't won, and the Padres I don't think have won one. The Rockies. Those are teams that haven't appeared in one. So it looks like the Brewers have not been at all.
Okay, I remember them going to the World Series playing the Cardinals because
Yeah.
I remember Albert Pujols
That
was
was like-
still with the Cardinals.
that- What year was that, I wonder? Yeah, I don't think they – I mean, they've been, but they never won. So I guess that'd be cool to see. You know, you always like when droughts end. The fans love that. I mean, if you have to pick of the 4 teams, Milwaukee is obviously the underdog. So, wow, this is a crazy list. I don't want to read this whole thing. This only goes to 09. That's kind of weird.
I mean, they've won a ton of, division series. I'm pretty sure they obviously won a championship series. So, I mean,
I didn't know there was a strike during 1994. So no one played in the World Series in 1994. There wasn't a game. Just found that out. Fun fact.
so the Brewers seem up to you on a hot streak. So, I mean,
They went in 1982 and lost to the Cardinals.
okay.
So that's one.
I don't know, but they have a tough matchup with the Dodgers.
This says longest current World Series championship droughts. The Indians. That would make okay. The Indians, the Rangers, the Brewers, and the Padres.
Okay.
That's at least the 4 that I see. If I click on this link, it's probably gonna make me search for all that again. So yes, the Brewers have not won a title. Took us 4 minutes to clear that up, but oh no. Okay, the Indians did win. They just have the longest droughts right now in 48 between going. So yeah, Milwaukee hasn't been since 1982. At least that's what this says. Last World Series appearance. This is Wikipedia, so
82.
believe that if you won't.
Yeah, no, we can know.
But so I don't know. Maybe they'll get it. I don't care. I sorry. I see the
agree
Red
that
Sox.
they-
I think the Red Sox winning would be better for baseball because it's a bigger franchise. They haven't won one in so many years. It's like when these underdog, like the Cubs, they ended their drought like 2 years ago,
Yeah,
and now they're just. I don't want to call the Cubs irrelevant because they were in the playoffs and almost made the playoffs or wild card, you want to call it.
It was a close game.
But it just feels like everyone pays attention to baseball more when the main teams are playing well, like the Yankees and the Red Sox, and I would probably throw the Cardinals, teams like that. It's like golf. Like when Tiger Woods plays, we all watch.
Yeah, everyone
Yeah.
watches.
College basketball every year when UNC and Duke and Kentucky are playing well,
Yeah.
more people watch. So
I think the Dodgers have more of the advantage. I think it's going to come down to the Dodgers and Sox.
that'd be a good one. I'd like to see like Puig in a very important spot.
Yeah.
You see if he can get it done. But
That's
so that's about it.
yeah.
Crap. Well, those series won't be over. They'll be about halfway through probably by the next time we do a full length show because it'll be in a
Yeah,
week. They'll both played probably 3 or 4 games by then. So we'll have an edge and we'll have an idea about who could possibly win that. And if it's 4 games, it could just be over. There's another sweep. So that'll be that. I know we hit on high school football last week with Mr. Will Brown that came on the show. So as of right now, I'm just going to go over some, just key highlights for St. Johns County schools. They were like all off last week except for St. Joe. I think it was St. Joe. Yeah.
Yeah, it was St. Joe.
So, they were all off. And now they're all back in action this weekend with a lot of big games. St. Augustine High School plays Ed White like we were talking about.
It's a crucial game for them.
Yeah,
to win.
they have like 3 straight district games that they have to win to get into the playoffs, and that would put them at like 5-4 on the year if they were to win out, maybe, or maybe 6-4 if they win out, or something of that matter. But Pedro and Palaca play tonight. Like we talked about, Palaca's kind of resurging. We all know Menendez has had a big year. Ty Edwards, the running back, has just gone crazy this season. I think he has like 14 or 15 touchdowns.
Nice.
Palaca's 3-3, and 1-1 in their division. Menendez obviously 5-1. Menendez won last year 49-0. So Palaca looking to
I don't know.
get some revenge on that. It's at Menendez, so I don't know how much of a chance Palaca has. The crowd's going to probably pretty livid there. Palaca lost to Baker County last week in a close game, and Menendez barely beat. Well, this wasn't last week; it was the week before. Like I said, all the county schools were off last week. So the next game, like we said, Ed White, St. Augustine. It's at St. Augustine.
I think that's going to be the most talked about game.
It's I don't know. It should be depending. Ed White is 2-3, so they're not great.
Mm-hmm.
But the high school is 2-4, so they're both not doing well this year. St. Augustine beat them 49-0 last year, so they have it. But that was a totally different team than they have this year. So
yeah,
they lost a lot of guys. So it'll be interesting. I hope the high school gets the win. It'd be crazy to see them win out right here and make a playoff run, and then once you get in the playoffs, anything can happen. So then Ed White beat Fletcher the last week 27-0, or the last time they played 27-0.
Mm-hmm.
St. Aug's last game was when they beat Inglewood 54-0. This game's also the Yellow Jackets' homecoming game.
Yeah, I think they are. They have homecoming.
Yep. So the kids will be extra motivated this week. Homecoming games are great because they just do all the prep all week, and then you do the whole. You walk out on the field with your parents or your whoever wants to come. You walk out, and they announce your name, introduce you, and you stand on the sideline with your family. So that's pretty cool, especially for the seniors because it's their night just for them. It's all about them that night rather than the focus being on just the game. It's also about the kids and what their future holds and where they might be going after high school if it's not to go play football somewhere. So definitely an emotional moment, a good time. I know my senior night was amazing.
I didn't play sports.
It's okay.
I did. Played baseball.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Until I tore my shoulder up.
Well, but you got to take care of your shoulders. Let's see. Other games this week, Fleming Island and Bartram, I believe. Yes. Fleming Island at Bartram. Bartram is 4-2, so I don't want to call it a must-win, but they really don't want to lose this game.
Yeah, they don't want to drop down to 4-3.
Yeah, the last time they played, Bartram won 38-13, which was last year, I think, in the playoffs. Bartram beat Creekside last week. Let's see what else we have. Creekside plays, I don't know how you pronounce that, Buchholz? I'm not sure. They're from Gainesville.
Oh, okay.
And then Middleburg and Nice. Nice isn't very good. Middleburg isn't very good. So not really too much at stake. Might be for Middleburg. I'm not sure, but nothing at stake for Nice there. So that's pretty much the county rundown for the games to look out for this week. To me, the big one, I know St. Augustine game is big, but that Menendez-Palaca game will probably be more fun to watch, especially with the running backs that they have.
For sure.
So, yeah, if you can, go out tonight. And, by the time you hear this on the recording, the games will be over. So good luck to all. Hopefully Jackets come out with a win, and if, you attend the game.
It's still interesting. They can still make the playoffs.
Yeah, that's like Mr. Will said last week. Just got to win out. And because they play like 3 straight district games, and I think all 3 of them are at home. So they have it's an uphill climb, but at least there's a climb to be made.
For sure.
So, with that being said, diving into football, diving into the NFL, I want to start off by saying, since we didn't do a weekend recap on Tuesday, I told you the Titans should have won by like 24, and we lost to the Bills on a last-second field goal because we turned the ball over 3 times. Jacksonville beat the crap out of the Jets. Sam Darnold looked like a rookie.
Jacksonville played the Chiefs last week.
The Chiefs, sorry. Oh, have we done it once since the Jets?
No.
Okay.
That's what we would have recapped.
Yeah, okay. That's what I was going to do. I'm all lost what today is. Yeah, well, they got the crap out of them by the Chiefs. I actually forgot about that game. I forgot it happened.
Really?
I guess because it kind of quieted all the Jag fans down, so I didn't have to hear them all week long. So I seriously lost where we were. Tennessee lost to Buffalo, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so at least that was right. Yeah, okay. So 2 weeks ago, Jags beat the crap out of the Jets. I assume we talked about it at some point.
Yeah.
But yes, the Chiefs made the Jaguars look like it looked like 2016 Jags, 2013 Jags, 2014 Jags. Like Blake Bortles took like 11 steps backwards. He threw, was it 4 interceptions?
Something around those.
Yeah, I think it was 4 by the end of the game. I don't know.
It looked bad.
Like they're the best defense in the league, and they gave, I don't know what the final score was. I think it was 30-14. But you would think that experienced defense, as good as they are,
would not let them get.
You think at
20 on.
some point they would have rattled the rookie? Like, I'm not even sure that they, like, if you're not watching the video live right now, I don't have my laptop. I did not get a chance to bring it today, so all I have is my phone for what little bit of information I do have. So I can't really stat check everything today. But they just, I expected them to, because Jacksonville doesn't blitz much because their front four gets there all the time. But I expected them to, if they couldn't get to him, they would start blitzing and throw some disguise packages out there and just fall around his feet and make him move.
Get him out of the pocket.
And it didn't work. None of it worked. He threw some good balls down the field, but they also throw a lot of short stuff because they have playmakers. Like, Mahomes is playing lights out, don't get me wrong. But, I mean, he has Tyreek Hill, Kareem Hunt, Travis Kelce, Sammy Watkins, who's not as explosive as he once was. But if that's your fourth option, go ahead and throw it to him. Yeah. I mean, it's not a bad fourth option.
He's still a good wide receiver, though.
Travis Kelce is every bit as good as Gronk. I don't want to hear that he's not. So, the Chiefs are a real good team. I didn't expect them to blow Jacksonville out. I actually think I said, 20-14 or 21-14?
Yeah, I think our predictions were close, but it was like flip.
Yeah. So, Jacksonville's touchdowns were garbage time anyway. So, it'll be they'll have to rebound. They get who do they Sunday afternoon. So, I don't know. Dallas, kind of back and forth. You never know which Dallas team you're going to get because they ended up losing this past week. So, if Dak's going to do what Dak does, he doesn't really turn the ball over, and he's just he's like a mellow quarterback. He doesn't have much.
It's in Dallas too, so
yeah, it's in Dallas. He doesn't have a lot of fire. I mean, he doesn't have a lot of fire. He doesn't do any. Dak doesn't really wow you much.
He dropped off from his rookie season, man.
Yeah, so he's going to do what he's going to do. He's not going to explode on you, but he's probably not going to wet the bed.
One thing they have to worry about is Zeke.
Yes, that's where Jacksonville is weak, is defending the run,
Yes,
which even though they couldn't defend the pass last week, but defending the run is where they can be hurt. And Dallas is going to give it to Zeke
he's going to get like 30 carries at least.
So, but you can load the box and you can do that, which that's the plus side of Jacksonville is they can load the box and play one-on-one coverage on the outside. Like, does Dallas have a receiver that can do anything?
No, not really.
So,
who do they have? They have Beasley, Hearns.
I don't even know. Is Hearns even playing?
He's getting.
I haven't heard his name all season.
He's getting very minimal.
But here's the thing: when it comes to Jacksonville, which you can look at it and say, "Oh, well, they're easy to beat because the Chiefs just put it on them." The Chiefs are obviously the best team in football right now. Them and the Rams are neck and neck.
Well, the Chiefs have a hard matchup this week.
The Rams or the Chiefs?
The Chiefs play Patriots.
Oh yeah, I don't know if it's gonna be a hard matchup because New England's defense is still atrocious.
Yeah, but
if they can score with them, yeah, that's gonna be a great game Monday night. We'll get to that. I might actually stay up and watch that whole thing. But to beat Jacksonville, if you just, it's like how Tennessee beat them when we played them.
Yeah,
we didn't we said, okay, we're not gonna throw the football. You want to play press coverage and jam our guys, or where we can't sling it down the field. Okay, we'll just dink and dunk and run the ball and do some read option crap with Marcus, and that's how you beat Jacksonville. And then you shut their offense down. And now, where's Blake's mentality going to be this week? Is he going to come into this game very cautious, or do you think he's going to open it up and try and?
He's going to have to open it up. He cannot turn that ball over.
Because Fournette's obviously not playing again.
Which they we can dive into this. They picked up Jamal Charles and they signed Bo Scarborough.
Which, if everyone should know, Jamal Charles was once the best player on the Chiefs. I think he's
explosive running back.
Yeah, I think he's been into 2 Pro Bowls. He had about a good 4-year run, maybe 5-year. Then he went to Dallas for half a season, went to Denver for half a season. Didn't really do anything there. I'm assuming he got cut and has been a free agent ever since. And then Bo Scarborough, if you remember, was the backup for Derrick Henry at Alabama. And then Derrick left, and then Bo played for 2 more seasons. And I think it was the 2016 national title game, whichever year Clemson beat Alabama.
Right.
Bo got hurt in the championship game in the first or second quarter, broke his leg or something of that, or maybe it was his knee, his ankle. I'm not sure what it was. So he was out for the game. Clemson ended up. That was the crazy they won on the last second throw by Deshaun Watson. So Bo, I don't know. He was a big dude. He was bigger than Derrick Henry.
Yeah, he was.
And he might have been a little faster. And I don't know why he never blew back up. I don't know if that injury happened and he just never got back to the same. But, I mean, Jacksonville's got him now. And they just signed him for depth. He's probably not going to play.
Well, who do they have?
Well, TJ will start.
Okay.
And then Jamal will probably get a couple carries depending how the game goes.
Well, we did a poll. Does he add offensive boost to the Jags?
I mean, he's Jamal Charles, so he's going to add boost, but it's not. He's past his prime, and their offense isn't set up for a little running back. Their offense is set up for line up in the I formation, offset I, and run the ball straight. Jamal wants tosses. He wants to run zones. He wants to cut. He wants to get outside, and he probably doesn't have the speed he had 3-4 years ago.
I think he will. I think
I mean, I think the answer.
I think you'll see Jamal Charles 4 years ago.
No.
No?
Running backs fall off. I don't even know how old he is. But, I mean, does he add something? Yes, he adds a threat. But but how much? Is it going to be – he's not going to be a game-changing threat. He's probably not going to be returning punts.
Oh, God, no.
So, it's not like he's going to jump in there and they're going to toss him the ball and he's going to make 7 guys miss.
I think he's going to be formed into the – right now, and at least for this game, he's going to be the third down back.
I think in this game against Dallas, he gets 5 carries for 11 yards with 1 reception for like maybe 10 yards on a screen.
Interesting stat. I think he's going to get a little bit more than that.
The question to me is does Jacksonville go completely anti-Blake like they have when he has a bad game and just try and run?
Like feed it off.
Because Dallas can't really score unless Zeke gets going.
Yeah.
So you have a good defense still, regardless that they got just destroyed last week. You still have the maybe second best defense in the league.
Which Jalen Ramsey's questionable for Sunday.
Yeah, I guess he's got an ankle problem.
Foot.
Yeah, he's been hobbling around. So to look ahead at some of the other games so we don't get carried away with Jacksonville, we talked about the game of the week, KC versus New England. New England's, 4-2? Mm-hmm. KC's 6-5-0?
New England?
New England's 3-2, and KC's 5-0. Last week, Mahomes faced the most physical defense they're going to see all year.
I think he's faced the best defense.
Yeah. This week, he's going to go against more of a mental game. Belichick's going to try and throw wrenches at him, disguise things. That's the problem with Jacksonville. They don't disguise anything.
No,
they line up straight up, and they're going to play straight up, old school football with you. And if we know Andy Reid is the king of schemes, and he beat them. Like that's why I give Patrick Mahomes credit for last week. But God, this is like Andy Reid's doing, 150%. So now it's like, can Andy Reid outcoach Tom Brady? It's in New England. They don't lose at home. So I'm going to say New England pulls this one. I say it's a game. I say it's like 41-38.
I think it's a shootout game.
Unless, Brady and them just sit up. But Brady and them don't. Sony Michel's been playing well. I'm going to start him this week. And he's going to suck, probably.
You're going to start him. He's going to do not anything.
Yeah. So, yeah, and I'm not starting Lamar Miller, and they're playing the Bills, and he'll probably have a breakout game. Zach Ertz got me 10 last night, so that's a good start.
Zach Ertz, yeah, we didn't talk about that game.
Because I'm 4-1 in my fantasy league, leading it right now, buddy.
I'm 2-3.
Yeah, we didn't talk about last night's game at all. It's because it wasn't much of a game at all.
There was one thing we could take
out
of this game.
There's plenty from like a 33-14 game. There's plenty of headlines. Like headline number 1.
Eli sucks.
Eli looks like 2015 Peyton where he couldn't throw the ball to the outside hash. Number 2, Odell is the biggest crybaby in all of sports. And number 3, Zach Ertz or Carson Wentz looked.
He had
okay. I know he threw 2 touchdowns. One to
3.
Ertz. Did he throw 3?
Yeah, he threw for 3.
Oh, I know he threw 1 to Ertz. 1 to.
It was.
I know Aguilar had a. I don't think Aguilar scored.
It was Jeffrey. Jeffrey had 2 and Ertz had 1.
Okay, so 2 to Alshon. They are just loving having Alshon back.
Oh, they're feeding. Well, Alshon's still, wide receiver threat.
Well, he's huge. He's a perfect red zone. He's Plaxico Burress from like 2007. But so Carson's what? They're 3-3 now. Yeah.
Yes.
So I think is he 2-2? He's 2-2 since he's been back because he came back week 3. I'm pretty sure. He's either 2-2 or 2-1.
I think he's 2-1.
I know Tennessee beat him.
Didn't he lose the first game back?
Yeah, and it wasn't Tennessee, and Tennessee beat him. So I know he's lost 2 games. So I think he might be 2-2 since he's come back.
So he's still
he's still getting like that whole team's, and like you said, Ajayi's out now.
Yeah, that's
Did he tear his ACL, MCL?
or his ACL.
His ACL. So he's done for the season. So now you don't really have a running back in Philly.
They went back and forth between Corey Clement and Wendell Smallwood.
And Clement's that guy that's like going to pop up in big games, but he's not an every
He outplayed Wendell Smallwood.
Well, yeah, and he should because he's got Super Bowl experience. He just went through a playoff run, and he should. But I wouldn't count on him to be your every. I mean, he now has to be your every down back.
For now, yeah. I think I saw one headline that they were going to try to deal with Bell, like try to get Bell on that team.
They say Philly's been looking at Bell, and I've heard some whispers about Jacksonville. I don't see them getting. I don't see Pittsburgh trading him.
Yeah, no.
I mean, the trade deadline's only like 2 weeks away.
Yeah.
So, other big-ish games, which it's weird saying this, but the Browns and Chargers game is a big game.
Browns are kind of a sleeper team. What team's going to show up?
I mean, Browns are 2-1. Chargers need this because after starting like 1-2, they're, they could win this week and go 4-2.
They need to go 4-2.
Head to head, last year, even last year the Chargers only won by 9. So,
and then the Browns have a better team.
2016 was when Johnny Manziel beat them. I think that was their last win.
Has it been that?
It was like the Browns' last win before like this season. It had been 2 seasons or something like that.
He's been out of the league for 2 years, really? It seems longer than that.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, they won in 2016 against the Chargers. I'm pretty sure that was, their one key win.
JP said Barkley is a rookie of the year.
Barkley, like I was telling you earlier, I mean, he's had 100 yards from scrimmage each game. At least 100 yards from scrimmage. I mean, if he's on a team that's worth a crap, imagine Saquon. Imagine Saquon with like Aaron Rodgers. Imagine Saquon with Carson Wentz.
Ooh.
I mean, it's not that Eli. I mean, I get Eli's not playing well. You got to put it on the coaching staff too. Like, if Eli's not playing well, why isn't Saquon just getting every single carry, every single play?
Yeah, you would think so.
So I don't know, but anyway. Baker looks to win. I guess it'd be 2 in a row. Maybe trying to make the Browns relevant. This game is in Cleveland. I am pretty sure. So they got a shot. I'm not going to say the Browns can't win. Their defense is playing well. It's just, can Baker not throw or turn the ball over?
Yeah.
If he turns the ball over, they're definitely going to lose because Phillip Rivers doesn't turn the ball over.
What about Atlanta and Tampa Bay?
Tampa. What, Atlanta's like 1-4, and Tampa's like 2-3. So it's Jameis is more than likely starting. I assume
they've already announced he's starting.
So that game doesn't mean anything to anyone. They're both in the same division. So as long as Carolina wins, nobody cares.
Which they play Washington.
Which they should win. Seattle and Oakland, kind of a nah.
That's a throw-up game.
Like Seattle won last week, I think. Raiders. What is John Gruden going to do? I mean, they're 1-4. They're already pretty much out of any type of playoff hunt. Seahawks are 2-3. The Rams are running away with that division. So they don't really have a chance there either.
Chicago, Miami.
That's going to be a decent one. I think I'm going to start the Bears offense or the Bears defense this week.
Chicago looks pretty good, man.
They just, it's like their weakest spot is Trubisky because he's not flashy. Like they're 25th in defense.
He's still dangerous though.
They're 25th in defense, but Miami's 30th. Or in offense, sorry. They're 25th in offense. Miami's 30th. Bears have a second defense, which I imagine Jacksonville is probably first. They're both bad passing, but the Bears are, top 10 rushing attack in the league. Miami's way down 22nd. So it's hard to believe Miami's 3-2. I don't know. Everyone was loving them 3-0. Like, they're going to the playoffs. They're going to win this division this year. Like, now they just dropped the ball the last 2 weeks. They don't have a shot. Rams and Denver. I mean, that could be a surprising game.
Denver ain't beating the Rams, man.
I don't know. I don't think they are. They're 2-3. They're rebuilding. They have a really good rushing attack, though. That's where I think they could hold the ball and keep it away from Goff.
Yeah, can they stop Todd Gurley?
Oh, actually, the Rams have the number 1 defense in the league. So Jacksonville, you're not there anymore. So
you can't. In order to beat the Rams, you cannot let Todd Gurley get more than a touchdown.
yeah, well, to beat the Rams, I think you have to keep the ball away. Like they have a really good defense, and they have a really good. Well, I'm not gonna say they have a really good defense. They have, on paper, they have a really good defense. I don't know how they're ranked number 1, but
Aaron Donald.
they gave up a lot of points early in the season, which they could still obviously keep doing. I just don't know that Denver is going to be able to put up points.
I don't know. Can you really trust Case Keenum?
It's just because we saw last year in Minnesota, Case can put up points with weapons.
And Denver has weapons.
Demarius is old. Emmanuel, I think he's just good for a deep ball anymore. I don't know if he can actually run any routes.
Don't talk.
What? Hey, I got him on the team. I started him. He gets me 9-10 points a game. I'm not crying.
E. Sanders is really good, and D-Train still has it.
Well, they're 2-3, so they don't have a whole lot. Minnesota, Arizona. I don't know that Minnesota will win that game, but they should. I want to see Arizona go 0-16.
Minnesota's been a sad team to watch.
They're what, 2-1, so they have the 3rd best passing attack in the league.
Yeah.
But they're 31st in rushing. You know who's 32nd?
Yeah.
The Cardinals. The Cardinals are 31st in passing and 32nd in
See,
rushing.
at least JP agrees with me. Sanders is balling.
Oh, I can't take your call at this moment. I'm using this as my laptop. Well, I have nothing until this phone call clears. I know Tennessee plays Baltimore.
Can you beat Baltimore?
Is it at home or are we in Baltimore?
You're in Tennessee.
Oh, we got a chance. We have a chance, I'm telling you. Tennessee, they play to their competition. We can beat Jags. We can beat the Eagles. We can't beat Buffalo. Ravens are good. We'll rise up and play. I think we'll win that game.
You play the loser. You play the loser teams and you get beat.
I swear, Tennessee's done this since the beginning of time, since I've been alive. They play to their competition. Unless they're playing New England, then they just lose 41-0. I've never understood. I don't know. I don't know what we did last week. We turned the ball over 3 times. Corey Dillon. Dion Lewis fumbled. Marcus threw a pick, and I think someone else fumbled. So it was just an ugly game. I could barely watch it. I kept and then we took the lead late. That freaking white dude, Nick Williams, Marcus, had pressure, scrambled to his left. Dude's wide open in the end zone, 25 yards. No one within 10 yards of him. Marcus hits him right in the freaking chest, and he alligator arms it. So we settle for a field goal, go up by 2, and then our defense is bend, don't break. And we bend till they get to about the 25, and then we stiffen up. They kick a field goal and beat us. So if we score the touchdown, we probably win the game. We cut Nick Williams on Monday.
JP said, who's the best team with a losing record in your opinion?
It's not the Browns, if you're listening, JP. It's probably the Steelers.
He says Minnesota.
They're 1-4. No,
Minnesota is the best team with a losing record.
You put them above the Steelers? I wouldn't. I know Steelers are a mess, but neither one's. I'm not gonna say neither one's gonna make the playoffs, but Steelers got a big game this week. If they can beat, because the Bengals are quietly once again 4-1. So if they can beat the Bengals and they go to 3-2-1, and then the Bengals are 3-2 or 4-2, so they'll be only a game and a half back. I don't know how it's gonna work out with the whole tie situation. So they're not dead yet, and then Baltimore is 3-2. So if Tennessee can knock them off, they'll fall to 3-3. So that's probably the most competitive division this year, I think.
Minnesota has the better defense, but the same offense.
Ask him if he trusts Kirk Cousins more than he does Big Ben, because I don't. At some point, Big Ben's going to get Le'Veon back also.
Week 8, because 7's a bye.
Unless he gets traded. But like I said, I don't think they'll trade him.
The only other game is San Francisco and Green Bay on Monday night, which...
Green Bay has a chance to lose that because Aaron Rodgers is just not Aaron Rodgers. The greatest quarterback in the league we've ever seen play the game this year is 2-2-1. Tom Brady's having a bad year and he's 3-2. So what does that say?
That does not say a lot.
It says everything. It says Aaron Rodgers is not Tom Brady. He never will be. So
Whatever
I don't know,
you say, man.
but I think that's all of them. Bills, Texans, no one cares about. Go Bills. Jets, Colts, go Jets.
Colts.
So, those games are kind of boring.
And Detroit and New Orleans have a bye, so.
Detroit, New Orleans do?
Mm-hmm.
Well.
Bye week.
I know. The bye weeks came up, I swear bye weeks didn't used to start till week 8, but I guess because.
For my fantasy team, a lot of my bye weeks are 7 and 8.
Yeah. Well, Carolina's already had a bye, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, there was something that popped on my phone. What was the other one? Panthers are expecting Greg Olsen to start week 6.
Yeah, I didn't think he was going to be able to play this year.
I know, with a broken foot.
Mm-hmm. But hey, NFL, buddy, all that money, you can get healed pretty quick. So that's pretty much going to be, what is this, week 6, 7, 5? This is not week 5.
Yeah, it is.
No.
Was week 5 last week?
Well, they've all played 5 games, so it's week 6.
Whatever. It's too hard to keep up with it.
Almost halfway there. Almost. So, JP makes a good point. Minnesota is actually, they're a good team, 2-2-1. I don't think they're better than the Steelers, 2-2-1. I would almost say if you played Minnesota versus Cleveland would have a shot at that game. I think if the Steelers, when they get another crack at Cleveland, they're going to put it on them. And they played them, week 1? Week 2 of the season? Everything's new then. Those games don't mean anything. Just like Jacksonville blowing the doors off New England early in the season doesn't really mean a whole lot. See what happens if they meet up again when it's cold out and they're in Foxborough.
Who's your defensive rookie of the year? DROY.
I don't even know any defensive rookies. There's probably 2 that are doing good. I don't know who they are. I know there's a linebacker for. Is it the Lions? There's some rookie linebacker that's leading everybody in tackles.
He says Cleveland makes the playoffs.
Cleveland's not going to make the playoffs. They're in the most competitive division in football. You're going to tell me they're going to have a better record than the Ravens and the Steelers at the end of the season? No. The only way that they could, because they wouldn't get in as a wild card, because there's too many, Tennessee, Jacksonville, Denver. There's going to be 2 teams going out of the AFC South, and it's not going to be Cleveland.
The safety out in San Diego.
I don't know who that is. Did he say just the safety, or did he give me a name?
He just said safety.
Give me a name, you bum.
Safety for the Chargers.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that guy. Give me a name.
Derwin James.
Derwin James is a G. Ain't that the one out of Florida State? Or Ohio State?
I don't know.
He'll answer me in a second. I guess I can look it up.
Derwin James. Sounds familiar.
I want to say he played at Florida State or Ohio State. But yeah, he is raw. He was raw in college.
I think it was Florida
Derwin
State.
James.
Was it Florida State?
Played for Florida State, yeah.
Mm.
Let's see. He's got 31 tackles on the year with 1 pick. He's got more picks than Jalen Ramsey does, so guess he's better than Jalen. Oh, man. Jacksonville did get their first interception this week, though. Tashawn, whatever his first name is, Gibson, got the first pick of the year for them, so that was pretty cool. The great secondary finally got their first interception in week 5.
Only took them 5 weeks.
Yep, 5 weeks to find the football. Great job, guys. So, yeah, that's week 6 in a nutshell for you. So, other thing to recap last weekend, I know everyone in the world watched the Habib and Conor fight.
Boy, Conor got rocked. There was when they kept replaying it, there was this one.
Yeah, it's round 3 no, it was round 2.
He got hit with that right hook.
Oh God, he stuck him. Conor stumbled back and fell down.
Oh, that was a nasty right hook.
But if you watch the fight, well, obviously Conor just got completely worked. I watched the whole thing. Habib won round 1. Habib won round 2. Round 3, Conor won because they kind of stood up. Conor hit him a few times, and then round 4, obviously Conor tapped. But
the biggest story
was after the actual fight when, Habib won. He threw his mouthpiece, started pointing at Conor's camp, and he jumped over the fence and then flew through the air, and I think he drop kicked somebody in the face, and then that whole team jumped on him, and he had to be pulled away before he got, beat up in the crowd. And then, and everyone's like thrown off by this too, because the next camera angle you see is some dude in a red shirt climbing a fence swinging on Conor. But there was another camera angle off of somebody's like cell phone where when Habib jumped over the fence, Conor ran over there too, once he woke back up.
Yeah.
And ran over there, and he jumped up on the fence and was looking.
I think he's the one who started it.
Yeah, and one of Habib's guys was also on the fence kind of looking, like hollering. And Conor just like reached over and just like punched him in the cheek. That dude wasn't even like looking at you. And then that dude swung back. They both jumped down. And then that's when the red shirt dude came over. And then like 4 guys jumped on Conor, started beating him up. And then now everyone's on Habib's case about it. Like, who cares? Like, yes, he jumped into the crowd. That's wrong. At no point in any professional sport should the like athletes and the crowd get into it. But he wasn't going at just like the crowd, He was
going for.
He was going for the camp that's been trash talking him and making fun of his religion and his family for months now.
For real.
Like that dude had so much bottled up anger. Like he really wanted to destroy Conor, and he did. And then now they're talking about suspending him, but I think I saw they're both going to get like temporarily suspended, which is fine.
From Nevada.
Yeah. They are going to – I don't know if they've taken a percentage of his winnings yet, or they're still trying to figure out what they're doing. They're saying he's to strip his title, blah, blah, blah. Where was all this BS when Conor was slinging chairs at buses, breaking glass, and, I think he actually injured somebody.
Yeah.
And, like, when he's freaking out and he's, calling Floyd Mayweather a monkey during the press conference, and he's making fun of Habib and, like, copying his accent and trying to make fun of where he's from, like –
I'm telling
like
you,
I said in the last show, Conor's the only white dude in the world allowed to be racist. I don't understand it.
I told you last week that his personality will fit so much in the WWE.
He's a WWE character. Like if he'd be perfect. Like, and I've already said I think everything before a UFC match is all staged. I think it's all Dana White does a good job at bringing. I don't think the guy. Listen, okay, I didn't think the guys hated each other as much as they seem to before the fight, but I think this one the hatred was real. Like after the Mayweather and McGregor fight, like after all the crap they talked for weeks, after the fight they did a joint press conference and were laughing with each other and were cool. These two dudes right here, this Russian didn't give like nothing. He didn't care. Nope. He didn't care. So it was good to see that the hatred is actually kind of real for that.
Not
but like
staged.
I said, yeah, I think a lot of it is staged. And when you do stage it up so much and you let these guys talk to each other like that, those are outcomes you're going to get.
Oh, for sure.
Like if you're going to sit there and let this dude make fun of this guy's, heritage,
And really,
like what do you think is going to happen when he gets around?
Stuff's going to go down.
Yeah. So, that's all. And now, he can't do that. It's a disgrace. I can't give you this belt. I'd be like, then how do you let this guy talk about me for months?
Yeah.
And it's because Dana White is on Conor's, jockstrap, if you will. And Conor's got like 4 or 5 more fights to fill in this contract. He better pick an easy opponent because he's turning into Ronda Rousey really, really fast, and he will be in the WWE with her.
Telling you, it'd be funny. I'd actually watch.
You go from top dog, running your mouth, winning everything, and you leave your sport, and now he comes in, and I don't think he was in shape. He just didn't. I don't know. He didn't look.
He got work
dominant like they said,
No.
and we've all know Conor can't wrestle. So I don't know why they keep signing him up for fights for guys that like to go to the ground. And obviously, like I honestly think if you put Floyd Mayweather in the ring like 3 years ago, because he's kind of old now, I think if you put him in the octagon with Conor, he'd probably win. Because Conor's not going to take him to the ground. He don't know how to go down there. And Floyd's going to have lighter hands. He's not going to have big gloves. He's going to work McGregor. So, but and then the best fight of the night, honestly, was the I don't even know his name. It's like Lewis. Something Lewis. It was the big black guy. He fought some Russian, he fought like some 7-foot Russian dude. And those were, I think those were only 3-round fights. And the Lewis dude got worked. He just looked kind of big and sluggish and slow. Was getting popped left and right. He had a chin from hell. Like he was taking some beatings. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, this Russian guy is going to, win off a decision. And then the last 30 seconds, Lewis just started swinging, and stuck that dude so hard, knocked his mouthpiece. Like it looked like one of like the UFC games. Like he fell down, and he jumped on him and kind of like hammer fisted him like 3 times.
The funny thing is,
And it was over. And then
his press
the post fight like interview. It was one of the best ever. And it's funny too, because he's like, "Why'd you take your shorts off?" "Oh, my balls were hot." But then what was even funnier to me was what's that dude's name? Like Joe Rogan or Joe something.
I think it's Joe Rogan.
The dude that used to be, Fear Factor host. He was like, "Now you're probably ready for a championship fight." He was like, "Oh, I got to get my ass in shape." He said, "I don't want no championship fight." But then like 2 days ago, they just announced it that he is going to fight for the belt in like a month. It's like November 3rd or something.
It's like, I think it's against Cormier or something.
Yeah, it's the champion. Yeah, I can't remember his first name. It's like Cormier or whatever. Which he's old. He's like almost 40. And then I looked at the tail of the tape thing. Lewis has like an 8-inch reach on this guy.
Jeez.
And he's also like 30 more pounds than him. But it's heavyweight, so I guess it doesn't, like, once you're over the heavyweight weight, you can be as heavy as you want. So.
Right.
But yeah, I wanted to talk about that. I really want to talk about that on Tuesday, but we didn't get to do our recap. So that's all we got for you today. Cover a little bit of baseball, high school football, NFL. I was lost on what week it was. But a lot of big games, a lot of big baseball games, a lot of big high school football games tonight.
Yeah, for sure.
So big weekend in sports. Really hope we get to do a weekend takeaway on Tuesday again. Just had a lot of stuff going on, wasn't able to get around to it. So appreciate you listening. Hope you liked the last show. Like I said, we had Mr. Brown from the Record on here. That was awesome of him to come on here for us and hopefully expose us a little more. And just you guys ever want to call in or anything like that, hit us up in the messages, or if you know us, just call us, whatever you want to do. What? What's JP over there?
He said Cormier will work him, and then he's like, "Luckily, this takes so long to post. I'd argue with you all day."
Shut up! Stop acting like you even watch. You didn't even watch the freaking fight this weekend. You're too busy doing something else. So don't even talk to me like you watch fights. God. Nah, I'm gonna call you when this is over. But thanks for listening. If you did, if you watched, John Paul, appreciate it. One love. And anything else you need to say, bud?
No, just
follow us on everything.
Podcast, Apple Podcasts, Google Play. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
We need the reviews and likes on iTunes and iPodcasts.
For real.
Bad.
I'm gonna start stealing people's iPhones.
We need to. Let's just go buy a bunch of iPhones and then we'll just do it ourselves.
You got like 800 a pop?
A pop? Well, we're buying iPhone 5s. What you mean? Ain't gonna buy no X, 8X, 9X, triple X. We ain't doing none of that. So, all right. Well, take a listen to us and rate us, call us, contact us. Appreciate it. We are out. Talk to you guys next week.
See ya. It was still a 50-minute show.
Uh-huh.
It was still a 50-minute show.
Fuck. I don't know how to do them short.
It's because JP was going back and forth.